And here we have a little bit more challenging exercises. So let's go ahead and solve them. It says, for each case, find the value of x and the missing angles. Okay, so we are given here two parallel lines, M and O, and is intersecting by a line N. But we notice here that instead of an angle being given, we are given equations that represent the angles. And we are asked to find the value of x. So let's go ahead and set up our equation. We know that these two angles, let me zoom in, we know that these two angles are supplementary angle, right? Which means that the sum of these two angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so if we know that, we can say that x plus 10, which will be this little angle here, plus 2x plus 8, which will be this angle here. So let's note it as angle 1 and angle 2. These two angles are equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because again, these two are supplementary angles. If we start from one side of the line and go all the way to the other side of the line, it's 180 degrees. Okay, so let's solve this equation. This will be x plus 2x will be 3x, 10 plus 8 will be 18, equal to 180. 3x is equal to 180 minus 18. 3x is equal to 162. X is equal to 162 divided by 3, which is equal to 54. What does that mean? That the value of x in this equation is 54. Okay, but we are asking also to solve for the missing angle. So if we already know the value of x, we can calculate the value of the missing angle. So we could say here that angle 1, which will be this one right here, is equal to x plus 10, but we already know the value of x, right? So will be 54 plus 10 is equal to 64 degrees. So this angle over here will be 64 degrees. For angle 2, we have that 2x will be 2 times 54 plus 8 is equal to 116 degrees, which means that this angle right here is 116 degrees. Perfect. So we already have two angles, and now we can apply the concepts of vertical angles and parallel lines to define the missing angle. So if this angle right here is 116 degrees, this angle right here is also 116 degrees. This angle right here is 64 degrees because it's vertical to this angle. Okay, so let's figure which angles will be in the intersection with the other parallel line. Will be this 116 degrees. It is the angle from the parallel line to the intersecting line. We go back to the other line and we go parallel line to intersecting line. So this angle will be 116 degrees. If this angle is 116 degrees, this angle is also 116 degrees. This angle will be 64 and this angle will be 64. And this way we solve for all the angles in the two intersections. So let's move on to exercise 5. We have again two intersecting lines. I'm going to move on a little bit faster since we are getting it more and more. Okay, so we have that this angle and this angle, Okay, so if we have this angle, we can say that this angle is same as this one, right? So we can say that this angle is also 7x plus 5, right? And we know that this and these are supplementary angles, which means that the sum of them is equal to 180 degrees. So we could say that 15x minus 9 plus 7x plus 5 is equal to 180 degrees. So that end up being 22x minus 4 is equal to 180 degrees. 22x is equal to 184 degrees. X is equal to 8.36. Okay, if x is equal to 8.36, we could solve for both angles now. So let's say that angle 1 is equal to 15 times 8.36 minus 9. This is equal to, you guys need calculator to do this, is equal to 116.45 degrees. And for angle 2, we have that 7 times 8.36, because that's the value of x, plus 5. And this is equal to 63.52. These two angles, this one and this one, should add up to 180 degrees. That's why we looked for x. Okay, so let's write it down. On the drawing, we have that this angle here is 116 degrees, 0.45. This angle right here is 63.52. If this angle here is 63.52, this one is also 63.52, and this one is 116.45. Okay, so we also know that this one here is 63.52, this one here is 63.52 because of vertical angles. This one here is 116.45, and this one here is as well 116.45 degrees. Okay, so let's move on to the last exercise, exercise 6. We are given two parallel lines, line A and line B, again, and one intersect line C. And we are given these two angles, right? So before starting, let's see where this angle will be in this intersection. In this angle is formed between the parallel line to the intersecting line. We go back here and will be the angle to the parallel line, from the parallel line to the intersecting line. So it will be this angle right here. So this angle will be 12x minus 1. So now we can set up our equation knowing that these two angles are supplementary angles. We could say that 6 plus 40x plus 12 minus 1, 12x minus 1 is equal to 180 degrees. So we have that 52x plus 5 is equal to 180 degrees. 52x is equal to 175. X is equal to 3.36. Okay, so having the value of x, we can define the value of all the angles. So angle 1 will be 6 plus 40 times 3.36 is equal to 140.4 degrees. For angle 2, we have 12 times 3.36 minus 1 is equal to 39.32 degrees. So this angle right here is 39.32 degrees. Same as this one right here, 39.32 degrees. This angle right here will be 140.4 degrees. This one here will be 140.4 degrees as well. So if this one is 39.32, this one is also 39.32. So let's go ahead and write it down. 39.32 degrees. This one too, 39.32 degrees. And these two, 140.4 and 140.4. And this is how we solve the final exercise.